Hello and welcome to another episode of intelliTALKS. And today we have a special guest and also a special subject for everyone there selling on the Amazon marketplace. Please welcome my friend, John Cavendish. John, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me, Marcel.
So John is really working for a company with a very special name, Stellar Candy. So by the looks of it, they're probably selling candy on Amazon to Amazon. We're about to find out what exactly they're doing, but there's something sweet in the process, I'm sure. So John, please tell us about you, please, and also about Stellar Candy and whatever you feel like.
Oh, thank you. I nearly made up a story about being the number one candy seller on Amazon, because that would have been an amazing guest for you to have, and how we rank number one in every category for every candy.
There we go.
Unfortunately, no. What we do. So Stellar Candy, the reason that we're called Stellar Candy is because we make our clients' lives sweeter, so cheesy, and we do bite-sized tasks. And what we do as bite-sized tasks is, our belief is the worst part about selling on Amazon is dealing with Amazon. So we make it so you never need to talk to seller support again. So we basically replace seller support as a way for our clients to get whatever they want to get done in the back end of Amazon, so they can focus on what matters, whether that's content creation, launching, ranking, the stuff which actually adds value, not the getting stuck in the weeds of churning the seller support machine.
The joys. This is the theme for today. The joys of dealing with Amazon seller support.
The secret. Don't talk to them. Talk to us. No. The secret is always like knowing what to do and what to say and how to get through to them. And we've got on staff like 55 ex-Amazon seller support agents. So what we do is we do that. That's all we do. We just talk to seller support all day, and we have joy and fun doing it.
You got them with a little candy, just so, hey, here's a candy, come join my company. I know you've been previously working with Amazon. Come on. We have some friends
here.
Candy
is better working conditions, work from home. You know, we support people well, we train them, and they don't have a 2-hour commute each way to go to the office in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's really very intriguing, because everyone is filled with joy whenever they want to talk to Amazon seller support, and they're looking forward to it. Never.
That's what I find. That's what we find, and then they come to us and they're like, "Oh, even better, we can talk to you."
Until now, apparently, John has a secret sauce there, and he enjoys talking to Amazon seller support. So,
well, not me personally. I hate talking to seller support, which is why I started the business. I had the same pain as everybody else. I sold for 8 years. I sold for 6 years. We had an agency, like a full service Amazon agency, for 2 years. And then I realized, like, not everybody can be successful on Amazon who starts from zero, but everyone that achieves some level of success gets stuck, and usually stuck with seller support. So I was like, let's stop doing all the other stuff. Let's just solve this one problem and solve it to the best of our ability and add to the industry. And that's how we got that's how we found Stellar Candy.
Brilliant, John. Thank you for that. And actually, it's very relieving to know that someone can actually do this in a professional manner. Because myself, I'm also an Amazon seller, but back in 2016 when I started, I had zero knowledge on how to deal with seller support. And even now, I don't want to stress myself with all the people there that whatever they're saying, doing. So there's a recipe for everything. But let's dive a bit into this one. Where do you think that people are mostly getting stuck when dealing with Amazon seller support? How from your experience, John?
Yeah, so in my experience, people get stuck at a couple of different ways. I mean, either they want to get something very specific done, like they're having an ASIN suspension, or they're getting something that's really detrimental to their business. And that's when they get stuck in this never-ending loop where they get a template, they respond, they ask nicely. And, asking nicely doesn't work because they just want the information to tick the tick boxes. So that's one place where people get stuck. I mean, but recently, in the last couple of years, I don't know if you've seen it, like people get stuck just updating flat files, updating listings, and Amazon won't propagate the updates and then refuses to do it. Or you have to raise a case about it and you have to push it through and go around in circles. So it used to be when we started the business, we were like, okay, we will do your plans of action. We'll do all this stuff. Now it's like we do everything because seller support's getting worse. And hopefully they're getting worse to get better, as in Amazon's testing some system that can automate. But right now, it's definitely no better than it was when I started the business 4 years ago.
But what makes it, so bad? Probably the fact that they're actually trying to improve, like you say. But I'm sure that in the back end, I don't know, I'm looking maybe at the corporation that Amazon is, and it's a huge mammoth, whatever you want to call it. And what would make it to be so bad, to actually become so bad? Because even with my experience dealing with Amazon seller support is never an easy task, and it's always about copy paste answers, and sometimes it's just not getting the job done.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me it's probably volume and standardization. So like the look behind the door of how Amazon works their support, at least in the Philippines where we hire our people, what they do is they outsource support to BPOs, like business process outsourcing centers. So there's a few big ones of those in the Philippines. They each run Amazon support teams, and support is judged on a few success criteria. It's like how long you have to handle the ticket. So between 8 and 12 minutes to handle that support ticket. And then amongst some other things, how well you solve it through their workflow system. They call it workflow, but it's actually a tree-based Q&A answering system. They have to go through, get the correct answer, copy and paste it in within 8 minutes. And then they're getting good results. Of course, then it's close the ticket because they're also monitored on the KPIs to close the ticket, which is why they're always closing the ticket.
There we go.
So that's, they're trying to standardize, and I understand that, because if I was going to standardize this system, I would eventually go, okay, well, we've got to make it so that 70%, 80% of the time doing this, that means we can use AI at some point. And that's just my thought process. Problem is, right now, it seems to be getting worse because, to be honest, AI might be better than the humans, but you can't just turn AI on, can you? Because it needs monitoring, and maybe it'll take over the world. And Amazon seller support will be the new what's it, Cybernet? Skynet. Skynet. Bezos's rockets will take off.
Never know. Whatever Jeff is building up there under the hood. But it's clear that we need to automate things and to speed up things. We're in this era where everything has to be very, very fast. But what would be some, I don't know, tips and tricks that you would advise on in regards to dealing with seller support?
So, I mean, there's a few things. So it depends what you want to get done. But usually I would say, just like anything else in business, which is strategize before doing it. It's so tempting when something goes wrong to go, oh, I'm going to raise a support ticket, and just hammer out a message saying, yeah, fix this for me. But that doesn't work because the support don't necessarily understand what we're asking for, and doesn't include the right keywords for how they reference things, and it doesn't, it's not going to get you to the right answer. So like step one would always be figure out what the actual solution is and see whether you need to raise a ticket. So say it's a listing not updating. Okay, well, have we tried to do a flat file update, like a feed file update? Because at least doing that way, it's probably going to update without having to talk to Amazon. And if you talk to Amazon, you're going to be stuck potentially in a 1 or 2 day cycle just to push a small update through. Then you've got to put it on your list of stuff you have to do. And then you're stuck again, just another thing on your to-do list. So would be, is the strategy, can we do it ourselves? Yes, no. If not, okay, cool. What's the next step? Well, next step is probably to raise a case, ideally referencing a feed file or something that we've made in the past. So we say, okay, cool. We did a bulk upload. Here's the bulk upload number. Can you please sort this out for me? Look, I've already tried to do it myself. It doesn't work. Can you do it for me? Then best chance of them doing it because they can see the paper trail. Then if that doesn't work, and they give you like let's relist it for 24 hours or 48 hours, which is the standard response these days. You just delete it and re-upload it. Maybe we do that if we think that's going to work. But if it doesn't, or if we don't decide not to, we call. And then you do the same thing again, which is, I did this bulk upload file. I raised this case. Can you please put me through to the leadership team or someone that can do something about it? And they say yes or no. And then you go around the cycle again until you get through to the person who can actually solve it for you. Otherwise, you're stuck at the whim of however long it takes them to answer the seller support tickets. And yes, you can wait. If it's not essential, you can wait that. It just depends whether it's how important it is for you to do.
Yeah, definitely. Also, persistence is the key. I remember back in the days, we had a problem in regards to a category for a product, and we needed to change the category. And for some reason, that item was in the sports category, and it moved to another sub category. I don't know, somewhere different in the Amazon space. And we were trying to open cases, and my team was opening some cases for this, and they were always getting the copy paste answers, and they were like, oh, okay, it's in the, we have checked and it's the correct category, and we cannot do anything about it. Bam, door closed. So what do you do in cases like that? I mean, apart from being persistent and trying to get to them, we just to finalize this story, we eventually solved it, and we reached out probably to another guy that was a bit more, let's say, into things. And I remember, because this was really funny and we laughed for a long time. It was like, after a second review, we've identified the correct category for your product. Really, the second review after I don't know how many cases. So it was really funny. But yeah, what can you do? What can you do? But yeah,
I mean, literally what you said. Just push them around in circles again and again and again. Like what we do at 𝗨𝘂𝗪𝗏 isn't magic. We just follow best practice over and over again, and we just have the resources to throw resources at it. That's the only way we can do it.
And you are making everyone else happy, and because like I didn't know about 𝗨𝘂𝗪𝗏 back in the days. I don't know, John, how long has been 𝗨𝘂𝗪𝗏 on the market?
4 years, but only really 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years since we started really scaling. We were testing for a long time to make it work.
Yeah, I bet it's a procedures internal and everything. I know that it takes time to understand how Amazon thinks and works, and to find the best way to solve cases. But this is a huge relief for me as an Amazon seller right now, because I don't need to open cases anymore, and I can find someone to just go and solve this for you. So in this case, how would 𝗨𝘂𝗪𝗏 be the do this for me, for example, John? How can we look at it from 𝗨𝘂𝗪𝗏𝗏's perspective?
So from a seller point of view, 𝗨𝘂𝗪𝗏𝗏 is actually a portal. So we have a portal a bit like seller support. And you log into the portal from one side, and then we have a very simple way of logging what happens. Because what we took away very quickly is, Amazon sellers are not necessarily the most organized people in the world. So we create a system to help them be organized. So you log it with us. You can see everything you've got in there. You can see the status, whether it's submitted, in progress, awaiting Amazon's response, awaiting your response. When our seller needs to respond, they get emailed, and that's it. So once they've submitted to us, they just get updates of how things are going with us. And we work the same way with agencies. So we plug into Amazon agencies or aggregators. They all have they usually work by having account managers that deal with different clients. And then because the account managers are the most competent people on the team, they end up handling these high-level support tickets because they don't have anyone else to do it. So we then give every account manager access to 𝗨𝘂𝗪𝗏𝗏. And above them, the operations manager sits there monitoring what each account manager is doing. Right. So we have levels of control. And the goal with sellers is we free up their time. And the goal with agencies is that we make it so their account managers can handle more business for the same amount of people, like improve their efficiency without having to be involved in 10 different support cases at once, following little things around the internet. Yeah,
correct. And this is actually really streamlining operations in terms of dealing with Amazon. And like John very well said earlier, you as an Amazon seller can focus on different other aspects of your business, which might be a little more important than talking to the people there with Amazon support. So John, thank you for this great service that you're bringing in the Amazon ecosystem, and it's really, really helpful. I would tend to ask you one last question. What would be the number one tip you would give to everyone there selling on Amazon in regards to this subject, dealing with Amazon seller support?
Number one tip. It's a good question. I mean, this is just a general business thing, but I feel like without a plan, we always get sucked into the minutiae of every day. So what's the plan? I'm sure that when most of us started our Amazon businesses, we didn't think I'm going to spend all day doing operations and dealing with seller support. Like maybe it was freedom, maybe it was working from home, maybe it's drinking coconuts on the beach, maybe it's making millions of dollars. None of those things involve being at a computer all day, dealing with Amazon support or any other operational stuff. And I found that when I didn't have a plan, like a solid plan to get from here to there, you get sucked into whatever we're doing every single day. So yeah, having a clear plan of what I want to achieve gave me the reason to do other things, whether that's create 𝘆𝚪 or what I work on day to day in 𝘆𝚪, which is not in the business, it's on the business, on creating and growing and talking to people and doing interesting things. So I would get support with your operations, whether it's us, whether it's an operations team, whether it's an agency such as yourselves, to do certain aspects of it, and then figure out how to make the real money or enjoy the time, not get stuck in the operating part.
Right. There's another bit, and you've just pointed that out. How about getting someone in your team to handle it? Would that be very hard to actually, hire someone to do this job? In terms of testing and training and the questions that you need to ask and all that sort. How do you feel about that?
It depends. Depends on what scale you're at, to be honest. I mean, once you get to a certain level, and if you have other Amazon experts on your team that can validate the knowledge this person has, so check that they actually understand what they're talking about, they're not BSing you, and that you have a backup. So my ethos after running this business for 4 years and other businesses is have a backup, because otherwise you are the backup, which means you have to go straight back in should someone be sick or leave or something happen. When you have 75 people just get sick or disappear occasionally and then come back, and you have to deal with that stuff. So it's, as long as there's a backup, you can definitely do it internally, and as long as they're well trained and you've validated their training. Like what we try and do with 𝘆𝚪 is we make it a similar price to having a human being in your business, and you get all of that anyway. But I can understand as wanting to have internal control, and as long as you've got a good training, management, operations system. So ideally, depending if you're operational, either a manager who's operational or you're operational, one of the two. My feeling is that doesn't always happen in businesses. You just need someone who can manage, because I'm not the best operator, but I have amazing operators on the team. So I don't need to operate. I don't need to manage anyone. They manage themselves. I give the outcomes and run the operations, and they run the operations.
That's the best way forward, actually. And I tend to always look at things from an organizational perspective in terms of how to streamline operations so things become easier. And at the end of the day, everyone is looking to, like you said, maybe to enjoy that coconut on the beach and whatever they want of their Amazon business and their lives, and in the end just simplify things. So John, let me know if there's something that you want to add for this very nice interview, because so far it's been very enlightening in terms of how to actually look at it from the dealing with Amazon seller support perspective. Is there anything else that we should tell everyone?
I think what you were saying about operations and organization is is another step, isn't it? Like when you start out, you're hustling, you're trying to make money. Like thinking of it as an organization, because if we're going to do this for years, hustling sucks for more than a year at a time, and then you're like, yeah, I'd quite like a break, but I can't. So I think what you said, talking about organizational design, even if the organizational design is an org chart with you and different people below it showing all the responsibilities, it's an amazing step, and all my friends that got burnt out through business, it's because when you ask them who's doing it, they're doing it, or they've got no organization, or there's no plan. So going back to the planning part, if you haven't done your plan for 2024 yet, now is the time to. When is the best time to do your plan? Like now, today,
and
tomorrow.
The best time is yesterday. The second best time is today.
Yeah, I mean, we spent 3 days sitting down just after I saw you in the US last time. We spent 3 days sitting down doing our organizational plan for 2024. And it's definitely worth doing, involving all the team members who you think are going to be here in a year, or all the senior ones who are going to add value to it, and getting their buy-in. And as they say, if you say it, you believe it. If they say it, they believe it. So leading them through it, getting them to put the ideas forward. And we did another plan this morning for another venture I'm involved in. And like, so much better having the buy-in after doing it with the team, even though I know kind of what I want to achieve. As long as they've got the buy-in that, yes, this is possible. And yes, I'm excited about it. It's so much more of a fun thing to do than dragging people along for the ride.
Yeah, there's a saying I like very much is if you want to get there fast, run alone. If you want to get far away, just run with the team. That's very, very intense on my side. John, I really appreciate it, and I love what your guys are doing. I hope you are having a great way to satisfy a lot of people. I've just added here. This is the website, sellercandy.com. Everyone that's dealing with Amazon these days should definitely at least have a look into what John and the team has prepared there for everyone, because we just want our lives to be beautiful. We don't want to be stressed and talk about the craziness of Amazon seller support every day. I'm sure this is very funny, but from a different perspective. I'm sure the guys in John's team are actually the ones that are talking about the problems with Amazon seller support every day. So we probably should let them do that, and we focus on other important matters like coconut beaches. I love that one really. So
beaches.
Brilliant, John. Really appreciate it and appreciate you, and hope to see you very soon. Thank you for taking your time and sharing your thoughts here with everyone that's watching. And yeah, hope to capture you in the future for more and more insightful tips and tricks.
Thanks, Marcel, and have an amazing day, an amazing new year, whenever this is going to come out.
Yep. Happy New Year to everyone, and yeah, let's dive into 2024.
Just to add, if anyone is thinking about it or wants any more information, they can email me, john@sellercandy.com with an H, and I will send you $100 off your first month. So feel free to drop me.
Wait. So this is something else. $100 of the first month of Seller Candy membership. This is what you're offering.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you just drop me an email, I will send you some information personally, or me or my assistant who does my email. Get an assistant for your email. That's the next tip. Don't do your own email. But yeah, it is my inbox, and I will see it.
Perfect. I will add this to the description. Thank you, John, for this. This is really unexpected. It's a nice gift for everyone out there. Thank you for offering this, and yeah, let's email John. John@sellercandy.com. I will add it there in the description. Super nice. John, thank you again. You're great and appreciate it. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Appreciate you too. Bye.